Hello, my beautiful little cancers. How are you? So, I've been doing some thinking, and one of the things I was thinking about you is you really have to believe in your potential. You're capable of more than you really can imagine. You don't have to trust in your abilities. You don't have to be afraid to reach for the stars. And what I was thinking about doing is just doing a general read for you guys to see what we can get out of this. And I'm gonna just do a double tarot deck read. So some of these cards are already jumping. That's pretty okay. A lot of these cards are jumping. So let's see what we get here. I did a pre-shuffle, but I want to just get a quick read for you and see what we get for a generic timeline read for you. And just see what we get here and just see what jumps. Okay, there's another jumper. Wow, you guys are good. I was actually just talking about Cancer. So just so you know, I'm an Aquarius, and I resonate with the Cancer. I really do. I've had many friends of Cancer, um, and I really enjoy Cancer reads. So I'm gonna just get going here and just pull some cards for you guys to get started. But the Cancer read in general for me has always been a very good read. Whenever I read for anybody that's Cancer, it's a really powerful read because what it does is it helps me kind of basically center myself. I don't know why or how that is, but reading for you, Cancer, it really helps me kind of see my own truth. And one of the things I love doing is getting my own truth because um, I am very much into Reiki. I am obviously into tarot, but I'm an educator, and for me, one of the things I can do, like when I read you guys, is it helps me really connect to my own energy. So the reason I got into doing this, just doing online tarot, was a bunch of friends had asked me to kind of put these out. But for you, Cancer, I really found myself connecting to different energies. So when I read, I like reading as though you're here. And for my students and stuff, it helps me connect to them. Like I know when something's wrong with a student right away. When they walk in, boom, I know something's up. So what I'm going to do for you guys right now is I'm just going to do a generic read. I know it seems like there's a whole lot of cards here, but I read a double tarot deck, and I do like what's called cornerstones. So this timeline read, I have cornerstones, I have what's called a conduit, and I have what's called a center line. And I'll build off this read here in a moment. But so Cancer, I'm going to just get started, and you have a bunch of you have a really bunch of I would say males in here, some females. So these major cards come out. There's a lot of people involved in your read, but at the very heart of your read, there is a passionate male. No joke. You have, I would say, almost you have what we consider indecision, but there's really not indecision. If it looks like it, it could be, or you had a prior indecision. There's also a passionate queen. These could be a couple or a marriage. There is an offer of love coming into this passionate queen. I'm sorry, king. And there was a former tower moment that happened at the center line. There is a marriage there's a marriage that's offered, or there's a marriage in the works, or a marriage or a commitment happening in the making. At the cornerstone, this page of swords shows me that it's a younger, probably when I see this card, it's basically this actually. Whenever I do read for this, this comes up to be like a Peruvian or somebody like that. But this tends to be someone of a different culture, a lot on their mind, very loving. They hold the sword loosely as though they're kind of like they're worrisome. This King of Wands is eyeing a Queen of Cups, so they have their eye on a very loving Queen of Cups, and they're in a divine connection with this other person. So this could be another King of Cups. So this could be a person who's in a connection. Typically, this means it's another male and another female, but who knows? There is a king who's eyeing a queen. So there's a lot of energy in this play here. When you look at this conduit, there's there's an offer here, and then when you look here, there is basically a third party situation, but there's judgment. So there's worry about this judgment. So this offer is here, and you can see someone was left out in the cold, or there's a situation out in the cold. This could also mean the cold months. But on top of this, whoever this queen is, on the top of her head, what's on her mind, typically, which means she is happy. There is a very happy situation on her mind. There's basically some money to be made or money to be offered from this queen, the one who's connected here, but there's also some burdens with this third party connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dig in some more here, but I'm going to go with there's definitely some movement going on here. When these cornerstones, it shows that there's definitely some very heavy movement. This could also mean some travel, but typically this would mean that there's some movement coming on. But this Knight of Swords would tell me that there's intelligence or some information coming in to this Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, this is a very happy queen. A happy queen is usually a mother. This is also a mother and also a mother. So we have three mothers involved in here. And I would also be interested to see why this is involved. So I do like these little minor reads. I don't necessarily always talk about this, but when you can actually read straight up and down. So these two people would be involved, but they're not in alignment. It's almost like this person has money, and this person is typically a water sign. So this is a father figure who's a water sign who's connected to this very well off, happy um, earth sign. So let's take a look here. I'm going to start digging a little deeper here. So there is something or somebody wants to work on something. This would be this water sign wants to work on something. There's an out in the cold that's being in alignment with this earth sign. This water sign wants to rush in and they want to work on something, but I feel like there's something happening with this situation where it's not actually happening. The Page of Pentacles tells me that this person is looking elsewhere and they're not interested. Page of Pentacles tells me there's an offer being made to this happy love marriage situation, and this Queen of Cups is currently just focused on one thing. When you move forward, there's a death situation, or there's a situation where this death is not in alignment, but they're part of two choices. That's what I was talking about, those former choices. They're part of two choices. This could be basically someone who has to do with death, or someone who died, or it also could be a Scorpio. Let's keep going. In the past, there's someone, this King of Wands, this passionate king. In their past, there is someone who has lots of worry, or they were worried about something, but it's in their past. They're no longer thinking about it. But this Queen of Wands is not thinking about it, but they were part of this worry. You can see in this indecision, there was no worry in this indecision. She was part of this indecision or worry. Also, she is at a stalemate. Something's worrying her about the stalemate because of money. There is no judgment about it, but there's an offer of love, but that is not tied to this king, but there is an offer of love that's leaving her at a stalemate. There's a star being basically thrown up here. This would also be an Aquarian. I know it looks like it's, for you, it looks like it's in reverse, but when you start looking at this card, in the upright, and this one where there's no judgment. These cards are all in the upright when you look at them in this direction. So what I actually try to do is I kind of look at them in that a majority wins. So for me, this queen is tied into probably an Aquarian, and there's something tied into this happiness or abundance of money, but there's basically a burden being carried here with this third party and Aquarian. No judgment, but something's being caused here. So when you work your way down here, there is kind of a miscommunication or something disconnect with this third party and abundance of money. But you can see there's the third party here coming in, two dogs, and there's an offer of love. On the cornerstone, this is also what I would call here, Cancer, is ground zero. This is usually where things come in and out. Tends to be the most important part. This is where you take action, and this is where something's happening. So this male is making an offer to somebody of big importance, and that's where the judgment comes in. Not a bad situation, but you can see where the third party was just three people. This is more family oriented. As we move forward, there's two cards popping. As we move forward, and there's a little bit of a split, a little rift. Someone is becoming stronger out of this offer of love, and this judgment or no judgment, this king is now becoming more prominent. So you can actually see how these cards start to tie together. So this king is obviously tied into this offer. And this king is obviously tied into this queen of wands, and this world is at the center of this whole read, and this would be tied into this queen of wands. So what I'm going to say to you here, Cancer, is this is definitely tied into your read. So there is a king of wands for you in this read. I would highly recommend that. So whoever this is a king of wands for you, and I have a feeling that you are in love or they're in love with you. There's some worry or there's something bothering you. There's definitely passion from this king of wands towards you. I can highly recommend this, and this queen of cups would recommend. I'm going to say that's you. That's 100% you. And this is probably you. This is probably this person. This king of cups underneath it is actually your partner. That's what's going on. So they actually represent two people. This king of wands is probably tied in or married to somebody else, but they're also your partner because they're also an Aquarian, which ties back to this person. They're in a third party situation and they're tied into you. That's exactly what's happened here. Or they're tied, or vice versa. It could be a male to a female. It could be split, but they're making you an offer to complete your happiness. But there's somebody or something watching. So I'm going to say that this is your Cancer. I'm going to say that either you or they are a water sign, but there is an Aquarian tied into you here, Cancer. That's what I'm telling you. And there's love here. There is 100% love. And there's also there's passion here, and there's something that you can't act on currently for whatever reason, but there's a life lesson tied into this person that you're currently connecting to. And that's what's making it interesting. And there's the offer. So the offer's coming in from the divine to you that you're meeting. This I really love, the double aces. So if I said, hey, you got two aces up your sleeves, I guarantee you would be very happy with that. So let's keep going. So you're working on something, or this king that you're connecting to, or queen you're connecting to, but I'm going to go with this probably a king that you're connecting to. And I really don't like doing this, but I'm going to commit that this is a king. This is a male or male figure that you're connecting to. They're working. They're actually working a lot, but they're always working and they're building their finances very quickly. They're not exploring in the respect of what you're expecting them to. I think there's probably a worry or a self-imprisonment that you or this other person is kind of worried about, but they're growing themselves into a king of pentacles. So this person that you're currently working with is growing themselves into a manifesting king. So they're going to have enough to provide for you and others, if that makes sense, Cancer. Because this Aquarian king has money, or will have more than enough money. If does that make sense? I hope it does. Let's see what else. Wow, triple aces. Talk about really good. So this Aquarian king, that's why they're abundant. They're manifesting. They know how to manifest. Cancer, like I said to you earlier, and just so you know, I'm pulling from the middle of the deck, but you have to fight for this. Whatever it is, you've been fighting with them or they've been fighting with you because of the amount of work they do. They don't see you enough or they don't see you nearly enough. They almost feel like they don't give enough to you. They're not giving their king side. They're not giving their abundant side to you. They're giving less than they should to you. And I feel like that's what bothers them. This is the black commitment side. So when you get this black commitment side, this is permanent. They're permanently committing to you for long term. Long term could be forever, could be this here and here tells me they want to marry you. Whoever this person is, this male that you're talking to, Cancer, even though it feels like there's worry and there's heartache, they want to commit to you for the long term. So Cancer, I'm going to tell you right now, this person loves you and they love you endearly. You just have to worry about yourself and how good you're doing. You're blocking against this connection because you don't think it's real, but that's not the case. The sneakiness is unreal. The sneakiness is in your own head is what I get. That's where the tower moment is. You get into your own head and you have to just get away from that. You got past the indecision. You've already committed to this person. That's all well and done. Whoever this person is that you're thinking about and you watch this read for, that's them. The reason they're working so hard is for you. You have to keep that in mind, okay? I'm going to pull one more card here for you, but I'm going to tell you the reason you're watching this read is for this Aquarian male. That person is the person. You already have decided that. Like, they are the one. The divine has pushed you here to watch this read to tell you, good choice. Very good choice. So you get one more card for them, and there it is. Boom. You ready for this? Think things through from all perspectives. Precision, articulate, truthful, cautious, design, plans, controlled, but determined. King of Swords, King, Fire King, or of Air Swords. Like I said, Fire King or of Air. So you have Fire King or of Air. So you have like of both worlds. So this person's literally a spiritual person, or they're also like a passionate person. So what I'm getting here is they're King of Swords, but I actually always see that as, like I said, Aquarian. They have energy of the unexpected. They have conflict and strife, and this is what happens with you. And this person always has two people in their mind. That's where the third party comes in. So I have a feeling that whoever this person is, they're very much into you. That's not the question. The question is, are you going to be willing to hold off and wait for them? They're going to be worth the wait, but you have to hold off. They're going to go beyond that. They're trying to become just the King of Pentacles, whatever that means to you. They want to just become the King of Pentacles to you, and they just want to be that person, that final step. Okay, but like we were saying here, believe in your potential. You're capable of more than you can imagine. Okay, you know, just don't be afraid to reach for the stars. That's what we're talking about here. Don't be afraid to reach for the stars, and that's what we're doing. Because I think that's what's actually being told to you here is you have to reach for the stars. You have to reach for these stars. If you don't reach for these stars, then you won't get there. Okay, that's your third cup. That's the final person. That's the person you need. Right now, you feel like it was out in the cold, but in the end, it's going to end with this third party situation in your favor, whatever that means. You have a lot on your mind, but this person's actually your guiding light. Okay. So Cancer, I really enjoy reading for you guys. I want you to be safe, be kind to each other, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please do.